Good morning, everyone. So basically here, in the last class, we are trying to discuss with the range of the each data type here. And the data types we discuss, those are into the some of the category. We are having the 4 categories here. So what are the categories we are having? So something called integer and floating point, characters and booleans. And in that, we discuss the integer section here. Inside this particular integer section we discuss here, and we are having some of the data types having the bits and range here. So we discussed in the last class range. So today we are going to discuss with the simple example on this particular range here, and let me comment this particular sections here. Okay, so we'll have a simple example on recording this particular integer related. Let me create a one more class here, and name of the class I am going to work with light here. So observe carefully. So using this particular light example, I am going to add long data type as well as into data type here. So how exactly I am declaring the variable, how we are working on the simple example we'll see here. So let me click on the finish here. Okay, and now we are in the main method. So what are the data types I'm defining here? Something called one integer data type, and the name of the variable here. So what is the name of the variable I'm taking? Something called light speed. Okay, so light speed I'm taking here, and after that, so long days, getting the point, long seconds, and another one called long distance here. So these are the variable I'm taking here. So carefully observe here, the first one having the data type here, something called int, and remaining the 3 data type having, so remaining the 3 variable having the data type called which data type here? Long we are working. Getting the point. So whenever we are creating this particular 4 data types here, now what I am doing? So if we observe the simple, I want to initialize the value, something called, what happened? Light speed. So I want to provide the light speed here. So what is the default value I'm trying to specify? So something, so this is the light speed here. Okay, so is nothing but we declare the variable here, and we initialize the value. So what value we initialize the something called, so 1,86,000. So we initialize the value to this particular light speed, getting the point. And here I am going to work with here we are going to work with so remaining data types here. What are the remaining data types we are having? So something called, okay, back to here, days I am trying to initialize. So the days here 1000. The days I am providing here 1000 here. And after that, so I want to check with seconds here. I want to check with the second. So any idea? So using this particular days, I want to check here how many seconds we are going to get. Getting the point. We are having the days here. This particular days, I want to convert into the seconds here. So anyone having some idea how we can convert days into? Let me check some of the people having. So Not audible. Okay, can you please let me know the remaining also having the same? Okay. Viewer 19. So can you please check your connectivity? Okay. And so some of the people still they are into the trying to connect here. Some okay, viewer 13 and something called 21. Okay, so they will connect. Back to here, any idea? I'm having the 1000 days. So this particular 1000 days, I want to convert it into the seconds here. Okay, to convert into seconds here, what we need to do here? So initially, I want to specify days, and each day we are having. So how many hours here? How many hours? Each day, how many hours we are going to have? No idea. So like 1 hour, it's contain how many minutes here? Okay. So observe here. So this is the logic to convert into seconds here. The seconds we are going to get here. Once you get a second here, now we are having light speed, and we are having a days here, and we are having seconds here. So using this particular three, we can connect to the particular distance or not. So in 1000 days, this particular light, so how many miles is going to run here? Getting the point. So we are going to find out the distance here. So to find out the distance, what is the logic we are going to work here? So what is the logic? So we need to work on that to make on the distance information here. The simple one here. So distance is equals to. So whatever the output we are going to get, so that is I'm trying to initialize into the distance here. And here, if we observe, first one is light speed into seconds here. So whenever we are trying to multiply with light speed into seconds, so we are going to get a distance here. Getting the point. Now, if we observe the output here, so system.out.println, I'm not going to use the println here. I want to use print method here. So inside this particular print, I want to provide one message here, something called in days. So in this particular days, this particular light, getting the point. This particular light here, if we observe, how many miles here? How many miles this particular light is going to travel here? Getting the point. So this particular light is going to travel println. I want to specify something called distance here. Getting the point. So if you observe the simple example here, if I'm going to run, so we're going to have some bigger value. So you can see in 1000 days, so this particular light will travel about, so how many miles here? So these many miles the particular light is going to travel here. So let me take give some space between the days and miles here. Okay. Observe here. We'll try to have one more time the same output here. Observe here. So this is the way we can convert into the particular example using the int data type as well as long data type here. So this particular bigger value we are trying to hold into the long data type. Getting the point. So we need to check the range here. So sometimes, so we need to check whenever we are trying to like working with the multiplication or anything. So the bigger value can be hold into the smaller data type or not. So we need to check here, right? The output here, if you observe the distance here, so which data type we are using here? The data type called here, we are working on the long data type. Okay. Now you can see the distance we made as a something called long data type. Why we are in the terminal? We'll go for this. Okay, where is the console? We'll move on to the different perspective. Okay. So any questions regarding this simple example? Any questions? So can you please explain me how this particular example is working? Like from the which line number is starting here? So like in the which line number is ended this example? Can you please explain me the flow of execution here? If anyone having an idea? No idea? So what is the first executable statement? Yeah, tell me.
Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. First, we declare the light speed, days, seconds, and distance. Then afterwards, we are giving some value to them. Light speed is equal to something, day is equal to something, or second and distance. Then we are going to print the message that is in, that is days. Then it will goes to the days. Then days is equal to 1000. Then after the in, they will print the 1000. Then system.out.print, then it will print the message daylights will be travel about. Then
Okay.
next it will go to the next line, and then it will print a distance. Then distance value is equal to it will calculate light speed into seconds. Then after calculating this, it will print the
Okay. Okay. Good. So if you observe, these are the lines we are trying to declare the variable, and after declaring the variable, based on some logic, we are trying to initializing the values here. Getting the point. So in the initialize section, by default, we made this some light speed here, and we provided the some days here. So days we are having the long data type here, and we converted into the days into the seconds here. Using this particular algorithm, we converted the days here, and after that, using this particular light speed and seconds here, so we are going to get a distance of this particular light here. Getting the point. So the first executable statement is the main, and from the main, it will try to executing this particular lines here. Getting the point. So I'm requesting here. So day to day, we are going to increase the concept here. So try to practice the example. If you're having any questions, so let me know. But practice is very important here. So without the practice, you are not going to understand anything like how we are trying to work on the simple examples here. Okay. So if we don't have any questions, we will try to move on to the another example here. The simple example we discussed on the integer data types here. We'll move on to the another data type here, something called the floating related. So yesterday we discussed this particular integer section here. Now we'll move on to the floating point here. Inside this particular floating point, we are having two data types here. So what are the two data types we are having? Float and double here. So as we explained, the float will have the bits here is going to take 32 bit here, and is going to take 32 bits here, and the range we are having, so this particular range also we are having the bigger value, so like it is also available in say lakhs. Okay, so we don't want to discuss the particular range here, right? And this particular range here, so 1.4e, into some 3.4. So around 1.5 lakhs into, it's going to take 3.5 between, and between 3.25 lakhs is going to take, and another one here, that double here, so which is going to take the 64 bits here. So this having the bigger range compared to the float data type here. Okay, as we discussed in the last class, this particular float and double, they are going to take as a fraction values here. So then something called the precision related values are going to take here. So we'll have a simple example on this particular data type, how we can declare this particular two data types here, and how we can work on the simple example here. So to work on this particular simple example, what I will do, I will create a one more class here. I will create a one more class here. Using this particular class, we'll try to move on to the example section here. So if I observe the simple example, so area I want to create here. Okay, not a package name. The class name I want to take as a area, and I'm trying to open with the main method. Whenever I'm trying to communicate with the main method, what I am going to do here. So if we observe, so we are defining the double data type here, right? The double data type having the three variables. What are the three variables? The first one pi, and the second one we are having r, and the third one we are having a. So how many variables we are defining here? Three variables we are defining here, and the three variables having the which data type here? So the three variables having the data type called double here. Getting the point? So this is very important here. Whenever we are trying to define the same data type for the each and every value, what we can do, so instead of defining like this, so if we observe double, so something called b and double c. So instead of defining like this, what we can do, we can go for here, we can define the b comma c. So this is also another way to define, but here only data type we are defining here, and we are trying to define the how many variables we want to use here. So this is also one way to define, but if I'm trying to write like this, we are going to increase the lines of the particular class here. Okay, so we'll go for the same information which we are using this. So we are having the three variables, pi variable, r, and a variable. So now I'm trying to initialize the r value. So what is the value I'm trying to initialize? So something called r is equals to 10.8. So I'm requesting everyone, can you please mute yourself? So all the people are unmuted here. So can you please mute yourself so that other people may not disturb here? Okay, back to here. I'm trying to initialize some value. R is equals to 10.8. R is equals to 10.8. And after that, I'm trying to work with the pi value. So by default, what is the pi value here? So something called 3.1416. Right. So this is the approximately value we are taking here. Okay. Back to here, this particular pi value. So we are having 3.1416. So we are having the r value and we are having the pi value. So what is the logic to like check with the area of this particular circle? I want to find out the area of circle. Any idea? Any idea?
To pi r square.
So a is equals to pi r square here. So to work with pi r square, what we are going to do here? So simple.
R
if we
into
observe,
R.
yes, good. Now first we need to work with the pi, and later r into r. So using this particular logic, what we are going to do, we'll try to like find out the area of this particular circle here. Getting the point? Now after finding this particular area of circle, what we are going to do, we'll try to print out this particular area of circle here. Getting the point? Observe carefully. What we are doing here, we are trying to check with a double data type. we are having the 3 variables, and we initialize the sum of the variables here, and we are trying to find out the area of this particular circle using this particular logic here. So pi into r into r. Getting the point? So we'll try to execute the same example here. Now we are having some output here, something. So this is the area of the particular circle here. Getting the point? So this is the way we can work with the particular double data type. Getting the point? Now, so what is the default values we are going to get these particular variables here? Whenever we are defining this particular double data type, what are the default values we are going to get here? Any idea?
0, sir. 0.0.
So 0.0. Right. So 0.0 is the default value of this particular double data type here. So this is very important here. Right. And what about this particular integer data types here? We define the 4 variables here. And what are the default values we are going to get to each variable here?
0.
0. For all these 4 variables, we are going to have the 0 by default value. And when we are going to the another data type, that is double, we will have the default value 0.0. So this is very important here. Okay. Now, any questions regarding this particular double data type?
No, sir.
Okay. Only one answer. So I'm expecting more than one.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So back to here. So we will move on to the one more data type here. So that is called, we discussed in the last class, another one here, character here. How we can work with this particular character, and we'll have a simple example here, so that we'll have a more clear here. So how we are going to define the data type. Okay, let me create a simple one more class here. So something called char demo. Okay, so any idea? I want to get it the main method here. Any shortcut here? Any idea? So I missed to define the main method here, but I want to get it the main method here. No? Okay. Observe here. I'm trying to specify the name of the method, something called main. If I'm going to click here, control space, so we'll have a main method. Using this, we can find out the particular main method here. Getting the point. So this is one of the important shortcut. If we miss the particular main method, so using we can found. So based on the particular example, I will try to provide some of the shortcuts also. Okay, and back to here, I'm trying to define the character data type having the character category having the data type called char. Here I'm trying to work with a variable here, something called char1 and ch1 and ch2 here. So how many variables I'm defining here? 2 variables. So what are the name of the 2 variables here? The first one ch1 and the second one ch2. ch2. Okay. So to understand more, so I want to provide the name of the variable also, so that you are going to have an idea what is the name of the variable and how we are declaring the particular variable here. Okay. Back to here, after declaring the variable, what I'm doing here, I'm trying to initializing the value, something called 88. Getting the point. So I'm trying to initializing the value as a ch1 88 here. Okay. And the ch2, I'm trying to initialize with some character here. So that is called y here. Getting the point. So yesterday I explained here, these particular characters are going to work on the Unicode algorithm here. Okay. So we'll have a simple, the Unicode algorithm, how exactly it's going to work. So we'll check with the unicode.org. We're having the one website here. So we'll try to have a look on it here. So Unicode.org. So this is the Unicode org. So each character will have a number here. Based on this particular characters, we are going to find the appropriate number information here. Getting the point. So try to focus more information regarding this particular unicode.org website here, so that you will get a understand. So what is the character and what is the Unicode value. Getting the point. Right. So back to here, the simple example we want to discuss here. So we define the CH1 as a 88 and CH2 I'm defining as a one character. So that is Y here. And I want to print this particular two statements here. I want to print this particular two statements here. So something called CH1 and CH2. CH1 and CH2. And later what I'm doing here, CH1 plus I'm trying to append with another message here, something called CH2. Getting the point. So we'll try to have a look on it. What are the values we are going to get as a CH1 and CH2. So if you observe the CH1 and CH2, what are the values we are getting? X comma Y. X comma Y we are getting here. So why we are getting the X comma Y? Where we define this particular X here? Getting the point.
ASCII value of
88.
Yes.
capital X.
88 is ASCII X.
Good, good. So you are having some idea. So this particular X is coming from the where? Getting the point. Okay. Still you are having any doubts? Go to the website unicode.org. Find out what is the 88 value of, what is the character which resides in the 88 value. Getting the point. So this is the way we can work with characters. So we can convert the number into the character, and the character we can convert it into the number. So we are having the two options here. We can go for the number to character, character to number. So only the choice is available for this particular character data type here. So we don't have a other data type. We don't have a scope to convert the number to character or character to number here. Okay, so we'll have more information regarding this particular character in our upcoming classes here. So I'm expecting here all the people are having how these particular characters are working internally. Right. Now,
line number 7. If you not return ln, then also it will work. Print ln.
okay, if we observe, so I want to provide this information also. So try to check this example here. So all the messages are printing in a single line. Getting the point. Now, again I'm trying to run with the same example. You can observe here. So we had two lines here.
Yeah.
Okay. So any doubts why it is came two lines here? Previously we had only one line.
By using ln in next line.
Good. So whenever we are working with the print, so it will try to print this whatever the message we added inside this particular
Next
method.
line.
On the same line it's going to print for this particular print method. Getting the point. Use the same line, and the println method it's going to work with the next line.
Next line.
So this is the difference between print and println here. Okay, and so back to here. So I want to check with one more simple example here. What I'm doing here. So instead of the character I made as a X here. So I want to check with a simple one. Okay, let me keep as it is here. Now what I'm going to do. Okay, let me comment this example. I will provide one more here, something called CH1. CH1 is equals to X I'm making here. Okay, and after this, so I want to print this particular CH1 information. here ch1 contains something called ch1, and later what I'm doing here, ch1 plus plus. So ch1 plus plus here, and after that I want to print the same message here, but the difference here, after changing the value, so what we are going to get here, ch1. So can you please answer my question, like line number 12, what is the value it's going to print, and line number 14, what is the value it's going to print?
Y.
Okay, in the line number, which line number the y is going to print?
14.
Okay, 14. Okay, it's a small y or it is a capital Y?
Capital Y.
Okay. And what about this particular line number 12?
X.
So
Capital
line
X.
number. Okay. Okay. Other people's. So what you are expecting, the same output, or you are expecting any different here? If you are expecting the different, can you please let me know?
Same, sir.
Yeah, same. Okay. So someone is trying to explain something. Okay. So all are expecting the same output here, right? Okay. So first we'll run this example here. Okay. So ch1 contains x here. After changing the value, y.
Y.
Good. Okay, why I am getting the y here? So why I am not getting x? Yeah. Go ahead.
ch1 is pre-incremented.
So it is a pre-increment or post-increment?
Sorry, post-increment.
Okay.
Post-increment.
So what happens internally?
It increases the value of 1. Like
Yes.
the ASCII value of x is 88 and it is incrementing to 89. And the 89 ASCII value is capital Y.
Good. So this is the way we can work with the incremented value. If we observe, when we are trying to increase the number here, but finally we are getting a character here. Getting the point. So this is all about the advantages we are going to get whenever we are trying to work with this particular char data type here.
Correct.
So that's the reason we can convert into the number, or number from the character we can convert it here. Okay. So this is the simple example, the x and y, and we'll try to move on to the Boolean data type here. Okay. So the Boolean data type, we already identified what are the values it's contained here. So it's contained two values here, something called
Zeros
true or
and
false.
ones.
No,
Yeah.
true or false here.
Okay.
So the Boolean data type is contained true or false. So we'll have a simple example on this particular Boolean data type here. So let's observe here. I'm going to create one more class here, something called Boolean test. Right. So I'm trying to check with the main method. Whenever we are enter into the main method, I'm trying to define the data type called Boolean. And what is the name of the variable? What is the name of the variable here? So that is called b here. So initially I'm making b is equals to false here. So as we discussed in the last class, we can initialize only two values here. Either we can insert the something called true, or we can insert the
false.
Okay. So I'm initializing the false initially. Now I'm going to print the same statement here. I'm going to print the statements here. So something called b is. So here b.
Plus.
Right. And b is equals to true. So b is equals to true. I'm trying to print here. The same thing I want to print here. B is something called b. Okay. So what is the output we are going to get? The line number 7 as well as line number 9 here.
Line number 7 output will be true.
Okay.
False, true.
Okay. False and true. Good. So observe here. I want to add one more condition here. So inside this, I'm making here. So what we are going to get here? So around we are having 4 statements here. First, how many statements are going to execute here? 1, 2, 3. How many we are going to execute here?
2. Two states. First, we execute first 2 statements, true and false, and after that.
Okay. So try to execute the same program line by line from the line number 5 what we are doing, line number 6 what we are doing. So try to see the same example one more time. So you are going to have an idea. So how this particular B value is changing here. Okay. No idea? Can I run the same example?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you observe here.
True, then true, and then.
So we'll try to, sorry. How many we are having here? So around 4 statements are executing here.
Yes.
So any doubts regarding this particular 4 statements?
No, sir.
Okay. So can you please respond as soon as possible so that we'll try to move. If anyone having that doubt, we'll try to execute one more time. So I want to get.
Hello.
Yes, tell me.
Hello, sir. Please.
Sir, if B is there, na sir, in case of B false means it will execute which one, sir? Second one, it will is there na false, sir, at the time. True and false. B value will be assigned at that time.
Okay. Sorry, I did not understand. Can you explain which line you're talking about here?
Sir, at the 8th line, B will be assigned true. At that time, the B value will be false. At that time, in if condition, which statement will be executed, true or false?
Good question.
False.
So basically,
so then go to the if. If B is true value, then it will go to the if loop. Then it will print the whatever the B value. B now present value of B is true. Then that's why it will print true. Then afterwards B value gets false. Then it come out of the loop and print the message B. And whatever the current value of the B is false. That's why it will print false.
Good. So this is the conditional block we are using here, and we need to focus on what is the value which is contained the B variable here. Okay. So carefully observe. So I want to note it down a little bit more. Initially, the B value we made as a false here, right? And later, so the line number 6 we made as a false. Later, the line number 8, what we are doing here, we are changing to true here. So the false become true here.
True.
So that what happened here? The line number 9 is executed here. Whenever the cursor is coming to the line number 10 here, what we are doing is we are having some condition here. So the condition, inside the condition, we already identified this particular block. If it is returning true, it will enter into the whatever the lines we provided inside the block. Okay, getting the point. Whenever it is returning true, it will enter into this particular inside the block. So if it is returning false, getting the point. If it is returning false, what happens here? It will come out of the particular loop. Conditional block. So it is not a loop, it is a block here. Getting the point. So carefully observe. If it is returning false here, So these lines of code, it's not going to execute here. So just understanding, we're having 3 lines of code which we implemented inside this particular if block. Getting the point? So it will keep on executing the next lines here. The next lines. So when it is returning true, what happens internally? It will enter into this particular conditional block. It will execute the 3 statements here. Getting the point? Now back to our example here. So we are having the one condition here. So we made as a b variable inside this particular condition. So now we need to check here. So what value which contains this particular b variable? So see here, the b variable we are having here, true here.
True.
True. So whenever the b variable having the true, so we can observe this entire condition which become true here.
True.
So once this condition will true, what happen here? It will enter into this particular lines here. So the line number 11 is trying to executing here. So what is the line number 11 contains here? So just we provided the sysout information here. So inside this particular println method, we provided as the b variable information here. And again we need to check what is the value this particular b variable contains. What is the values contains here? So that is called true here. Right. So false, it's initially it is override with the true. Now, so this particular line is executed. Now it's trying to execute the line number 12 here. Inside this particular line number 12, what we are doing here? We are trying to reinitializing the value. So what is the value we are trying to reinitializing? So that is called false here. So now this particular true will become false here. This particular true will become false here. Okay. Line number 12 is executed. Line number 13 also executed. Now line number 14 we are trying to execute here. Because this condition is satisfied, we executed the internal code. We come out of the line number 13. So now we are in the line number 14 here. Whenever we are trying to executing this particular line number 14, so what is the value this particular variable contains here? The b variable here. So false. So getting the point. How this particular values changed here? So this is very important here. So because of this, initially we are having the false. Later it is become true, and later it is having false here. So this is the same output we are getting here. This is the particular same output we are getting. Initially it's false and later true. So again, why we are getting the true? Because of inside this particular conditional block, we made one more println statement here. One more println statement here. So because of another println statement here, so one more true we are getting here. Finally, the false here. So we need to understand here how this particular b value changing here. How this particular b value is changing. This is very important here. Okay. So any questions still?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
సార్
No, sir.
అసలు
Yeah.
ఫాల్
No,
నుంచి
sir.
ట్రూకి ఎట్లా చేంజ్ ఆ ప్లస్ బికి ముందు ప్లస్ ఉన్నందుక
So can you please speak in English? What happened? Okay. Okay, tell me. You can speak in Telugu also. చెప్పండి.
అదే సార్ బి అనేది ఫాల్ నుంచి ట్రూకి కన్వర్ట్ అయింది కదా ప్రింట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ లో సిస్టమ్ అవుట్పుట్ అది బి ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ప్లస్ బి అనే రాకదు కదా.
ఓకే. సో ఎక్కడ లైన్ నెంబర్ చెప్పండి, మీ పాయింట్ ఏంటి? 7. సో బేసికల్గా సో వాట్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ హియర్, దిస్ ఈస్ ద string we are trying to append with another data type here. So whenever we are trying to append with another data type, so we need to use this particular plus operator. Okay. So if I'm not going to use this particular statement here directly, I can use here. Whenever we are trying to append with any other data type here, what we are going to do, so we'll try to communicate with the plus operator. So we'll try to discuss more on the particular place operator whenever we are having a string classes examples. Okay. So basically, to understand more clear, I am trying to append with another message here. So that is called b is. So otherwise, we can work on the same variable. We can define the variable. Whatever the variable contain the value, we are going to print here. So the first line you can observe here. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Can I move another example?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here, I want to provide one more condition here. So that is we identified b is equals to false. So one more here only I want to provide the condition here. So carefully observe here. The line number 14 I'm trying to add one more logic here. So something called 10 greater than 9. So 10 greater than 9 is some message I want to add initial. Later I want to check with 10 greater than 9. So can you please answer what is the value we are going to get line number 14? Only line number 14.
False.
False. Okay.
True.
True. Okay. So I want to check.
True, sir.
So
True.
true. Only 3 people. So we are having the more. So
Yes,
today
sir.
we true. Okay. So I'm expecting any other output other than true.
Sir, we didn't assign b equal to 10 or 9, sir. Then why we get, how we get, sir?
Good question. Okay. So b variable having the which data type here?
Integer.
Integer.
No. Boolean.
So can we initialize the Boolean data type as a number values?
No, sir.
So if it is no, so how can I assign these values into the b variable?
It's false.
Okay. So need more answers. Can you please let me know? So other people like we were not answer as of now. Okay. Still you are in the any confusion? If you are in the confusion also let me know. I will try to clarify your confusion.
We are taken as a Boolean expression and true or false, but we are taken the integer values. Then we can we can initialize as the another number, na sir.
Good question. So here one point here. So I want to clear doubts. So whenever we are making this number, by default, it's going to take as a integer data types. Okay. So we don't want to define any data type. By default, the compiler is going to treat it as a int. No doubt clear? Okay. So one message I received, something exception. Okay. Any other? Okay, simple answer. So what we are going to get? If 10 greater than 9. So if I'm going to add the same condition here, 10 greater than 9. So what happens? The line number 15. This conditional block, will it return true or false?
True.
So in which scenario this condition is going to return true? Can you please explain any one of?
10 is greater than 9.
Good. So the 10 value is a bigger value compared to the 9.
9.
Cutting. So that's the reason we are going to get to this condition is going to return true. So same way, whenever I'm trying to provide this particular brace here, so it's going to take high priority compared to any other operations here. Basically, so we are having another operation here, something called append here. what we are doing here. So we are trying to append with some string data type here. So before appending with string data type, I want to do some calculation on this particular expression here. Getting the point. So that's the reason what I'm doing here. I'm trying to open the brace and I'm trying to close the brace here. So internally, we are working with the operator called greater than here. So simple one. Basically, 10 having the greater value compared to this particular 9. So in this case, this particular expression, we are going to have true here. So the entire expression is going to print as a true here. So to understand more, so observe here. I'm trying to run the same example here. Observe here, the last one, 10 greater than is true. Okay.
Yes.
So it's not going to give any exception here. So you need to understand here. So if you know how exactly this particular greater in a normal mathematics, same way you can think here. Same way you can think here. But only here we are going to work with the Boolean data type here. If the condition is greater than or less than, so we may get true or false value.
True or false.
So that we need to. Yes. Okay. Any questions still regarding this particular Boolean data type?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, so I will try to move on to the one more important example here. So something. Okay. String related information we are going to discuss in our upcoming classes here. And okay. So we'll try to check with some scope and lifetime of this particular variable here. So what exactly the scope content and what is the lifetime of this particular variable. So this is also very important example here. So observe here. Sorry, we want to create. So we want to create a class. The class here, scope and lifetime. Okay, the scope and lifetime of the variable here. So this is also very important example. Now, to work on this particular example, I want to define data type here. So what is the data type I am going to define? Something called X here. So int X is, so here, this is the, declaration section. So as of now, you are not going to understand what exactly this declaration section, but when we are discussing the class related information, so then you are going to have more information why I'm trying to provide this particular declaration. Getting the point. So just to understand here, the line number 5 we are making as a declaring the variable, and the line number 6 what we are doing here, we are trying to initializing the value. So the X variable having the value here, something called 10. If I'm going to have condition here, X is equals to 10, right? I'm opening one block here, and internally I'm making one more variable, something called Y. So Y is equals to 20, and again, so below what I'm doing here, X is equals to Y into 2. X is equals to Y into 2. I'm trying to do some multiplication, and after completion of this particular block, the line number 11, what I'm doing here, I'm trying to change the Y value is equals to 100. Getting the point. So after this, I want to print this particular X value. X is, getting the point. So I want to print this particular X value, something X here. Okay. So if we observe, I'm getting one error here. So if you are able to see the line number 11, we are having error here.
Integer value.
So can you read?
Variable.
Yeah, variable. Okay, explain me.
Why is not declared, sir?
So here I am declaring, right? The line.
It is in the block of if. Out of the if loop, it will not execute because you have to declare the y as an integer inside that block.
Okay. Okay. To remove this particular error, now what I need to do?
Declare the int y variable in below the int x or above the int x. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So about this particular block of statements, we can define this particular int y. Okay. So now I want to explain here. Whenever we are trying to define any variable within the sum of the block of code here, right? Now we are in the this particular if conditions here. So that's the reason what happens here. If I'm trying to access this particular y variable, we are getting an error here.
Error.
Okay. Same way. So this is also the main method also having some of the block of code here. Getting the point. And if I'm going to define another variable here, getting the point, which we already used inside this particular main method. So let's see. I want to okay, sysout we are not going to get here. Let me copy here. I want to access this particular x here. Basically, we are getting the two errors here. So this particular outside of this particular main method we cannot use. So we want to use within the scope of this any method or block this particular sysout. Okay. Now I want to explain here simple information here. First, we need to check where we are defining this particular variable. The variable which having any scope here. This y variable having the scope here if within this particular conditional block here. If we are trying to access outside of the scope, we are getting an error here. So what is the lifetime of this particular y variable? Up to line number 7 to line number 11. Once the line number 11 is completed, the y variable we cannot found here. The y variable we cannot found here. So to understand more, what I will do, the same example here, I'm going to run using this particular debug mode. So you can observe. Let me change the debug perspective. So try to focus this particular variable section. The right side section is important here. You can see this section, the values are going to reflected here. Okay, back to here. Observe here. X value we are getting something called 10.
10.
Right. Now the condition it's going to satisfy. What happens? The line number, this condition is going to return true or false.
True. True.
True. Okay. So to understand more, now what we can do? So we need to copy the whatever the code we made inside this particular block. Click on the Control Shift I. Control Shift to I. So we are going to get whether this particular block of code is going to return true or false. So in our example, we are getting true. Right. So once you get this particular true, what happens here? So click on F6 here. So why we need to use this particular F6? Are you able to see on the top here? We are having some pipe here. So can you see my cursor? Step over. Right. So what it contains here? Basically, so here it will try to move on to the line by line. So it's nothing but next line is going to work here. So see here, whenever I'm trying to click on this particular F6 here, now we are entering into the int variable. So as of now, you can check your right side section. We don't have the particular y variable, but whenever we are trying to execute the particular line number 8, you are able to see the y value here. You are able to see the y value. Getting the point. So carefully observe here. After this, what we are doing is we are trying to change the x value. The x value 40, but again you can observe here there is no y value. So whenever the cursor is entered into this particular block of code, so we initialize like we declare the y value, so with some 20. Getting the point. Whenever we are come out of this particular block of statements here, the y value will not available. So this kind of situation, these variable informations are going to store in a stack memory. The stack memory available up to the execution of the particular block of code. Once the block of code is completed, we cannot get it back to the previous variable information here. Getting the point. So this is very important here. And compared to this particular block of code, so we are having one more block of code here. So this is information is going to store in a particular memory called stack memory. So we'll have a more information on stack memory and heap memory. In our upcoming classes, we are going to have more information. But just observe here. Once this particular stack memory is like destroyed, so are you able to see any Y related information? This particular variable grid?
No, sir.
No, we are not finding anything, right? So previously we identified, but we are not able to find the particular variable information here, right? So this is the lifetime of the particular variable. So wherever we are trying to define the particular variable, so we need to check. So what is the access of this particular variable, and how much time the variable is available. Getting the point. So this is also very important here. And after this, we are printing the X value. So any questions regarding this particular scope and lifetime of the particular variable?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So if I want to access my value outside of this particular block, what I need to do? The simple one, we need to create Y
Into
here.
Y and declare
Okay.
Y.
So if you observe, we are getting an error here. Duplicate local variable Y. Now what you are understanding is, the variable name cannot contain the same more than one. The multiple variable values cannot have the same name here.
Same.
So that's the reason we are having the duplicate here. Right. So now what I will do, I will make here Z. I will make here Z here. So if I want to access this particular Y value outside of this particular block, what we can do? Simply Z is equals to Y. Z is equals to Y. Now we can access the whatever the Y value we are having. So now what we are doing here, we are trying to assign into the Z variable.
Z value.
So Z is something. So this is the way wherever we are changing the particular Z here. Okay.
20.
Why we need to initialize the value? Let me use. Now observe here. So the Z value we are getting as a 20, and the X value we are getting as a 40. Okay. So this is all about the scope and lifetime of the particular variable here. Okay. So in our tomorrow class, so we'll try to discuss the more information here, but make sure so try to practice the example.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, how to download the application, sir? Java application in laptop, sir.
Okay. You don't have a Java.
Yeah, sir.
So go to the Oracle website where you are finding. So using this particular Oracle website, we are going to download here. So let me clear. Developers, where we are into the products. Okay. Network Java. announcing Java 16. Okay, you can see here JDK download. So this is the SE 16 here, 15, 11, 8, 7. So these are the versions we are having here. So using this particular version, we can download 11.
Which version we are 11?
Yeah, you can download the 11 or 15, it is fine. Or else we can download the 8 also, it is fine. Up to the 8 versions, we are going to discuss the concepts. And later I will explain what are the additional concepts that are added into the, so the different versions here, like 9, 10, 11, 12. So inside these versions, we are having the, so like less features are added compared to the particular 1.8 here. Okay, still if anyone not yet downloaded the version, you can download it from this particular Oracle website here. So how we go through this particular website, same way you can download and try to practice here. So if you are having any questions,
Yeah,
let me know. Okay. Okay, thank you, and we'll continue tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.